Welcome back. Thank you for subscribing to this channel and for giving your like. If you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to access all training contents. In this module, we will explore business analysis process models and techniques, focusing on the application of structured methods for analysis and communication. To start with, business analysis is about understanding business needs, defining solutions, and ensuring those solutions deliver value. To do this effectively, analysts rely on process models and techniques that provide structure, clarity, and consistency. And business analysis process models are frameworks that guide how business analysis activities are carried out across a project lifecycle. There are two widely recognized frameworks that guides business analysis activities. One is the International Institute of Business Analysis, IIBA framework. And two is the BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT framework. It is important to note that no single framework is inherently better than the other. It depends on an organization's ways of working, which a business analyst is expected to follow. Let us now look at each framework in detail. The International Institute of Business Analysis outlines the key phases of its framework or model that guides business analysts' activities in a project as follows. 1. Business analysis planning and monitoring. In this phase, the BA defines the approach, stakeholders, and timelines. The business analyst defines the activities to be carried out throughout the project, the approaches and methodologies to be used, the stakeholders to be involved, and the timelines for each activity. The BA also plans how business analysis work will be monitored, communicated, and managed to ensure the project progresses effectively and meets its objectives. 2. Elicitation and collaboration with stakeholders. In this phase, the business analyst collaborates with stakeholders to map the as-is or current process in order to gain a clear understanding of the existing ways of working, identify pain points, challenges, and areas of success. Before engaging stakeholders, the BA usually conducts document analysis or sampling to gain initial knowledge of the current process and business environment. The BA then works closely with stakeholders through meetings, workshops, interviews, or other elicitation techniques to explore opportunities for improvement and identify possible solution options that can address the identified pain points. Once a suitable solution option has been agreed upon by stakeholders, the BA proceeds to gather or elicit detailed business and system requirements needed for implementation. This collaboration ensures that the proposed solution aligns with business needs and stakeholder expectations. 3. Requirements lifecycle management. In this phase, requirements are tracked, prioritized, and managed. After the business analyst has captured and documented the requirements for the agreed solution option, the requirements are reviewed, analyzed, and prioritized based on business value, urgency, risk, and stakeholder needs. The BA then manages the requirements throughout the project lifecycle to ensure successful delivery. This includes maintaining requirement traceability, monitoring changes, and ensuring that all requirements are implemented according to the agreed user acceptance criteria. The BA also ensures that no requirements are missed and helps control scope by preventing unnecessary changes or scope creep. Throughout this phase, the BA works closely with stakeholders, developers, testers, and project teams to ensure the final solution meets business objectives and delivers the expected value. 4. Strategy analysis. In this phase, the business analyst identifies the business needs and assesses potential solution options to address those needs. It is the responsibility of the BA to ensure that any proposed solution aligns with the organization's business goals, objectives, and values. The BA carries out strategy analysis to understand the current business environment, organizational objectives, challenges, opportunities, and desired future state. This helps ensure that all collaboration and elicitation activities with stakeholders are guided by the overall business strategy. By understanding the organization's vision and priorities, The BA ensures that stakeholder requirements and user needs remain aligned with business goals and do not move outside the agreed strategic direction. The BA also evaluates solution options to determine which solution will deliver the most value to the business while remaining feasible and achievable. 5. Requirements analysis and design definition. In this phase, the business analyst analyzes, refines, and defines the requirements in sufficient detail to support solution design and development. It is the responsibility of the BA to ensure that every approved requirement is properly accounted for within the solution design, prototype, or proposed system functionality. The BA works closely with stakeholders, designers, developers, and subject matter experts to validate requirements, clarify ambiguities, and ensure the proposed solution meets business and user needs. The BA also ensures that the requirements are reflected in the future state or to-be process and aligned with the intended business outcomes. During this phase, solution designs, models, process maps, wireframes, or prototypes may be created to help stakeholders visualize how the final product will function. The BA reviews these designs to confirm that all requirements have been incorporated correctly and consistently. Once the final product has been delivered and implemented, the BA maps the final to-be process, which then becomes the new as-is process for the organization. This updated process serves as the new current state and provides a baseline for future improvements, analysis, or change initiatives. And 6. Solution evaluation. This phase usually takes place after the solution has gone live and entered the post-implementation phase of the project. At this stage, the product is now part of business as usual BAU operations, and the business analyst evaluates how effectively the solution is performing. Typically, after a period such as 6 months of implementation, the BA carries out a performance assessment to determine whether the solution has delivered the expected business value, benefits, and objectives identified during the earlier phases of the project. The BA gathers feedback from stakeholders and users, reviews performance metrics, and analyses whether the solution has improved processes, resolved pain points, and met user needs. The BA also identifies any gaps, issues, or opportunities for further improvement. Where necessary, recommendations are made for process enhancements, additional functionality, or value improvement initiatives to ensure the organization continues to gain maximum benefit from the solution. This phase helps confirm whether the implemented solution is achieving the desired outcomes and supports continuous improvement within the organization. Let us now look at the second framework, which is the BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT Framework. The BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT, defines a structured model that shows how business analysis activities fit across the project and business change lifecycle. It focuses on understanding the business need, defining solutions, and ensuring successful implementation. The model is typically broken into 3 main phases. The first phase is the strategy analysis, understanding the business need. This stage focuses on the big picture. Analysis of the current situation as is. This is called the current operating model. Identifying the problems and opportunities in the as-is. Defining the future state to be. This is called the future operating model. And contributing to building the business case. The key question is, why is change needed? This first phase covers the phases 1, 2, and 4 of the International Institute of Business Analysis framework. The second phase is the business analysis, defining the solution options. This is where requirement gathering and validation work happens. Elicit requirements by engaging stakeholders through interviews or workshops. Analyze and prioritize stakeholders' requirements or needs. Model the to-be processes and data from the as-is processes. And validate the requirements or needs with stakeholders. The key question is, what needs to be done? This second phase covers the Phase 3 of the International Institute of Business Analysis framework. And the third phase is the implementation, delivering the change. This stage ensures the solution option is delivered effectively by supporting development and testing, managing change and stakeholder expectations, ensuring requirements are met, evaluating the solution after delivery. The key question is, how will the solution be delivered and measured? This third phase covers the phases 5 and 6 of the International Institute of Business Analysis framework. To ensure consistency and alignment across the project lifecycle, the following supporting activities need to happen across all phases. 1. Stakeholder engagement. This is the process of identifying, analyzing, and actively involving stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle to understand their needs, manage expectations, and gain their support. In simple terms, making sure the right people are involved and their views are considered. 2. Communication. This is the structured process of sharing relevant, clear, and timely information with stakeholders to ensure everyone understands the project's goals, progress, and changes. In simple terms, keeping everyone informed and aligned. 3. Requirements management. This is the process of documenting, organizing, prioritizing, tracking, and controlling changes to requirements throughout the project lifecycle. In simple terms, making sure project requirements are clear, up-to-date, and properly controlled. And 4. Change management. This is the process of handling changes to the project in a controlled way, including assessing impact, gaining approval, and implementing changes smoothly. In simple terms, managing changes without disrupting the project. Why is a structured model or framework important for a business analyst? It provides a structured and logical approach, improve clarity and consistency. It ensures clear communication with stakeholders, reduce miscommunication and errors. It reduces risk of misunderstood requirements. It helps deliver value-driven solution, ensure solutions meet business needs. It support better decision-making. And it bridge the gap between technical and non-technical teams. Let us now look at the various key techniques that can be used in of the process model's activities. One is the elicitation techniques, which about information gathering from stakeholders or document sampling. The following methods can be used to gather information from stakeholders: interviews, workshops, surveys/questionnaires, or observation, job shadowing. This helps uncover real business needs, not just assumptions. 2 is the process modeling techniques, which is used to visualize workflows and improve understanding. This is about process mapping with the stakeholders. The following visualized flows may be used: flowcharts, BPMN business process model and notation, or swim lane diagrams. This make complex processes easier to communicate to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. 3 is the requirements documentation techniques. Documentation may be in the form of user stories, use cases, or functional and non-functional requirements document. This ensures clarity, reduces ambiguity, and supports development. 4 is the analysis and prioritization techniques. The method includes SWOT analysis, gap analysis, and Moscow prioritization. Moscow stands for must, should, could, won't. This helps focus on what delivers the most value. And 5 is the communication and stakeholder management. The method includes stakeholder mapping, RACI matrices, and presentations and reports. This ensures everyone is aligned and informed. Simple real-world example of business analysis process model and techniques. Imagine a company wants to improve its customer service system. The business analyst would typically follow these steps. 1. Carry out document analysis. The BA begins by reviewing existing documents such as process manuals, customer complaints, service reports, policies, and system documentation to gain an initial understanding of the current ways of working and existing challenges. 2. Engage stakeholders using elicitation techniques. The BA conducts interviews, workshops, observations, or questionnaires with staff and stakeholders to understand their perspectives, identify pain points, and gather insights into current issues affecting customer service delivery. 3. Map the as-is process. Using the information gathered, the BA maps the current or as-is process to visualize how the system currently operates and identify inefficiencies, bottlenecks, duplication, delays, or gaps within the process. 4. Prioritize business and user needs. The BA collaborates with stakeholders to prioritize requirements and improvement needs, using techniques such as Moscow, must have, should have, could have, won't have. 5. Identify solution options. Based on stakeholder engagement and analysis, the BA identifies possible solution options that could address the identified pain points and improve the customer service process. 6. Obtain approval for the preferred solution. The BA presents the solution options to stakeholders and business leaders for evaluation and obtains agreement and approval on the preferred solution option. 7. Document requirements. The BA documents the requirements for the approved solution. If the project uses an agile approach, requirements may be documented as user stories with clear acceptance criteria. 8. Gain stakeholder approval of requirements. The documented requirements are reviewed and approved by stakeholders to ensure they accurately reflect business and user needs. And 9. Manage requirements through delivery. The BA supports the project through development, testing, and implementation to ensure requirements are delivered successfully and aligned with stakeholder expectations. Let us now look at some common interview questions on business analysis process models and techniques. 1. What are business analysis process models? Answer. Business analysis process models are structured frameworks that guide how business analysis activities are carried out across a project lifecycle. They help ensure consistency, clarity, and effective delivery of solutions. Examples include frameworks from International Institute of Business Analysis and BCS, the Chartered Institute for IT. 2. Why are structured methods important in business analysis? Answer. Structured methods are important because they provide a clear and consistent approach to analyzing problems, gathering requirements, and communicating solutions. They reduce ambiguity, improve stakeholder understanding, and support better decision-making. 3. Can you name some common business analysis techniques? Answer. Common techniques include stakeholder analysis, interviews and workshops, process modeling, e.g. flowcharts, BPMN, SWOT analysis, Moscow prioritization, use cases and user stories. 4. What is the difference between a process model and a technique? Answer. A process model is the overall framework or structure that guides business analysis activities, while a technique is a specific method or tool used within that framework. For example, a process model defines what steps to follow, while techniques define how to carry out those steps. In our next video, we will explore common technique templates used by business analysts. Thank you and goodbye for now.